Introduction. Your moment starts now. Welcome. I'm so incredibly glad you're here. Right now, wherever you are, whatever you're doing, I want you to pause for just a moment. Take a deep breath. Let it out slowly. Because what you're about to experience isn't just another self-help audiobook that you'll forget about in a week. This is your roadmap. This is your wake-up call. This is the beginning of something absolutely extraordinary. You picked up this audiobook for a reason. Maybe you're tired of living small. Maybe you've been playing it safe for too long, watching life pass you by while you stay comfortable in mediocrity. Maybe there's a dream inside you that keeps whispering, keeps nagging, keeps refusing to die no matter how many times you've tried to ignore it or push it down. Good. That dream is there for a reason. That whisper is your destiny calling. Let me ask you something important. When was the last time you allowed yourself to dream without limits? Without that annoying little voice saying, "Be realistic," or "Who do you think you are?" When was the last time you imagined your life exactly as you want it, not as you think it should be, not as others expect it to be, but exactly as your heart desires? For most people, the answer is heartbreaking. Never. Or maybe it was years ago, decades even, back when they were kids, before the world taught them to shrink their ambitions and settle for safe. Before teachers, parents, friends, and society convinced them that dreams are for children and adults need to be practical. But here's the raw, unfiltered truth that nobody wants to tell you. The world doesn't reward playing small. The world doesn't celebrate those who hide their gifts and dim their light. The world rewards those who dare to dream big and have the courage, the audacity, the relentless determination to chase those dreams, no matter what obstacles stand in their way. This audiobook is going to challenge you. It's going to push you out of your comfort zone. It's going to make you uncomfortable, and that's exactly the point. Because growth doesn't happen in comfort zones. Transformation doesn't happen when you're cozy and safe. Breakthroughs happen when you're stretched beyond what you thought was possible. Over the next several hours, we're going to dismantle every excuse you've ever made. We're going to expose every limiting belief that's been holding you back. We're going to rebuild your mindset from the ground up. We're going to turn you into someone who doesn't just dream big, but someone who achieves big, someone who makes the impossible possible. Are you ready? I mean, really ready. Then let's begin this journey together. Chapter 1. The Dream Buried Within You. Every single person on this planet was born with a gift. A unique combination of talents, passions, perspectives, and experiences that nobody else has. Nobody. You are literally one of a kind. You have something inside you that the world desperately needs. The question that will define your entire existence is this: are you going to give it to the world, or are you going to take it to your grave? Think about that for a second. Really think about it. Let it sink in. There are ideas inside your head right now that could change lives, transform communities, shift entire industries. There are businesses you could build that could employ hundreds of people and support their families. There are books you could write that could inspire millions. There are songs you could compose that could heal broken hearts. There are inventions you could create that could make the world a fundamentally better place. But absolutely none of that happens if you keep playing small. None of it manifests if you keep hiding. None of it becomes reality if you keep waiting for permission or the perfect moment. Let me tell you about a young man I'll call Thomas. This story is going to resonate with you because Thomas is like so many of us. He grew up in a small town with enormous dreams. As a kid, he wanted to build things, create things, make an impact on the world. He would sketch designs for hours, imagine inventions, dream about changing lives through his creations. But everyone around him All the well-meaning adults in his life said the same thing. Be realistic, Thomas. Get a stable job. Don't take risks. Dreams don't pay the bills. They thought they were protecting him. They thought they were giving him good advice. But they were actually killing something precious inside him. So Thomas listened. He put away his sketchbooks. He stopped imagining. He got the stable job at a local factory. He played it safe. He did what everyone told him to do. And for 20 long, miserable years, he was dying inside. Every single morning, he dragged himself out of bed to go to a job he hated, doing tasks that didn't matter, living a life that felt like it belonged to someone else. He would drive to work and feel this heavy weight on his chest, this constant ache that something was fundamentally wrong. His wife noticed. His friends noticed. But Thomas just kept going through the motions, telling himself this was what responsible adults do. This was what real life looked like. Until one evening, something happened that changed everything. His 7-year-old daughter was doing homework at the kitchen table, and she had to write about what she wanted to be when she grew up. She looked up at Thomas with those innocent, curious eyes and asked him a simple question. "Daddy, what's your dream? What did you want to be when you grew up?" And Thomas opened his mouth to answer, but nothing came out. He stood there in stunned silence, realizing with horror that he couldn't answer his own daughter's question. He had buried his dreams so deep, suppressed them so thoroughly, that he couldn't even remember what they were anymore. He had become a stranger to himself. That night, after his daughter went to bed, Thomas sat in his garage and cried, really cried, for the first time in years. And in that moment of complete breakdown, he made a decision. He was done. Done playing small. Done living someone else's version of his life. Done dying a slow death of mediocrity. He started sketching again that very night, pulling out old notebooks from boxes he hadn't opened in decades. His hands were shaky at first, rusty from years of neglect. But slowly, the creativity started flowing again. He started building things in his garage on weekends. Small things at first, then bigger projects. He started allowing himself to dream again, to imagine, to create without judgment or fear. His wife thought he was having a midlife crisis. His coworkers thought he was wasting his time, but Thomas didn't care anymore. Something had awakened inside him, and there was no going back to sleep. 5 years later, and I want you to really hear this, Thomas owns a successful design and manufacturing company. He employs 12 people, supporting 12 families. He wakes up excited about his work, energized by the challenges, fulfilled by the impact he's making. His daughter sees a father who lives with purpose and passion, who chases dreams and makes them real. He's teaching her that life is meant to be lived fully, not endured passively. What changed? The circumstances didn't change. The economy didn't change. Thomas's background and education didn't change. What changed was Thomas himself. He gave himself permission to dream big again. He decided that dying with his dreams inside him was no longer an option. Now, I want you to think deeply about your own life. Be honest with yourself. What dreams have you buried? What passions have you suppressed? What talents have you hidden? What version of yourself are you not allowing to exist? Maybe you wanted to be an artist, but someone told you that you'd never make money doing that. Maybe you wanted to start a business, but fear of failure kept you in your safe job. Maybe you wanted to write a book, but you convinced yourself nobody would want to read it. Maybe you wanted to travel the world, but you thought you needed to be responsible and settle down first. Here's what I need you to understand. The biggest tragedy in life isn't failure. It's not falling short of your goals. It's not making mistakes or taking risks that don't work out. The biggest tragedy is never trying. It's living your entire life wondering, what if? It's reaching the end with a heart full of regrets about all the things you didn't do, all the chances you didn't take, all the dreams you didn't chase. You don't want to be 80 years old, sitting in a rocking chair, your body worn out, but your spirit filled with bitter regret. Thinking about the business you never started, the book you never wrote, the relationship you were too scared to pursue, the adventure you postponed, until someday that never came. That future doesn't have to be yours. That tragedy can be avoided. But it requires action. It requires courage. It requires you to make a decision right now, in this moment, that your dreams matter and you're going to honor them. Your dreams aren't silly fantasies. They're not unrealistic delusions. They're not selfish indulgences. They're the compass pointing you toward your purpose. They're your soul's way of showing you what you're meant to contribute to this world. But here's what you absolutely must understand. Dreams alone aren't enough. Hope alone won't get you there. Wishing and wanting and waiting for the perfect moment, that's not a strategy. That's a recipe for disappointment. You need action. Massive, consistent action. You need strategy and planning. You need relentless commitment to turning those dreams into concrete reality, one step at a time, one day at a time. And that's exactly what we're going to do together over the course of this audiobook. We're going to take your dreams, no matter how big or impossible they seem right now, and we're going to build a practical, actionable plan to make them real. Toxic stories you've been repeating to yourself, probably for years, that are keeping you stuck in place, preventing you from moving forward, sabotaging your potential. These lies are insidious. They sound like truth. They feel like wisdom, but they're poison, slowly killing your dreams. Let's expose them one by one and destroy their power over you. Lie number 1. I'm not talented enough. This is absolute garbage. Complete and utter nonsense. Talent is wildly overrated, and I'm going to prove it to you. Yes, some people have natural aptitude in certain areas. Some people pick things up faster. Some people have advantages. So what? That doesn't determine who succeeds and who fails. You know what actually matters: work ethic, consistency, the willingness to keep going when things get brutally hard, when you're tired, when you're discouraged, when everyone else has quit. There are millions of naturally talented people walking around this planet right now who never accomplish anything meaningful. They rely on talent alone, coast on their natural abilities, and never develop the discipline required for greatness. And there are millions of people with average or even below average natural talent who achieve extraordinary, world-changing things because they outwork everyone else, because they practice when nobody's watching, because they improve a little bit every single day. I've seen this pattern over and over again in every field imaginable. The person who succeeds isn't always the most talented person in the room. It's the person who refuses to quit. It's the person who shows up every day. It's the person who gets knocked down 7 times and gets back up 8 times. Look at any successful person's story. Really dig into their biography. You'll find failure after failure. You'll find rejection after rejection. You'll find moments where they had every reason to quit, where the smart, logical thing to do was give up. But they didn't. They kept going. You have everything you need right now to start. Maybe you're not the best in your field yet. Maybe you have a lot to learn. So what? Everyone starts somewhere. Every master was once a beginner. Every expert was once clueless. The difference between those who make it and those who don't isn't talent. It's starting. It's taking action despite not being ready. It's being willing to be bad at something before you get good at it. Stop waiting to be talented enough. Start now and become talented through the process. Lie number 2. I don't have time. Let me be completely blunt with you. This excuse makes me angry because it's almost always a lie we tell ourselves to avoid facing our real fears. Everyone has the exact same 24 hours in a day. Every single person. The most successful billionaire has 24 hours. The struggling artist has 24 hours. You have 24 hours. The difference isn't time. It's priorities. You have time to scroll social media for an hour every day. You have time to watch television shows and movies. You have time to complain about your life to friends. You have time for things that don't move you forward, things that don't matter, things that are actively wasting your potential. But suddenly, when it comes to your dreams, you don't have time? Suddenly, you're too busy? The brutal truth is this: you make time for what matters to you. If your dreams really mattered, if they were truly a priority, you would find the time. You would wake up an hour earlier. You would use your lunch break differently. You would turn off Netflix and get to work. You would say no to activities that don't align with your goals. Time management is really priority management. And right now, let's be honest, your dreams aren't actually a priority. They're something you think about, something you wish for, but they're not something you're actively pursuing with urgency. That has to change today, not tomorrow, not next week, today. Look at your calendar right now. Look at how you spent the last week. Where did your time actually go? How much time did you spend on social media? How much on television? How much on activities that don't contribute to your goals? Now imagine if you redirected just 2 hours a day toward your dream. Just 2 hours. That's 14 hours a week. That's over 700 hours a year. Do you have any idea how much you could accomplish with 700 focused hours? You could write a book, build a business, learn a new skill, create a portfolio, build meaningful relationships, transform your health. The time is there. The question is whether you're willing to use it. Lie number 3, I'm too old. This lie breaks my heart because I've seen it destroy so many dreams. People convince themselves that they've missed their window, that it's too late, that they should have started years ago. Says who? Who made this rule? Who decided there's an age limit on dreams? Who put an expiration date on your potential? Let me give you some examples that will shatter this lie completely. Colonel Harlan Sanders was 62 years old when he franchised Kentucky Fried Chicken. 62. Most people are thinking about retirement at that age. He was just getting started building an empire. Vera Wang didn't enter the fashion industry until she was 40 years old. Now she's one of the most recognized names in wedding dress design. Laura Ingalls Wilder didn't publish her first Little House book until she was 64 years old. Those books have now sold millions of copies and inspired generations. Ray Kroc was 52 when he bought McDonald's and turned it into the largest fast food chain in the world. Julia Child didn't publish her first cookbook until she was 50 and didn't have her first cooking show until she was 51. Should I keep going? Because I can give you hundreds more examples. Your age is completely irrelevant to your dreams. What matters is what you do with the time you have left, whether that's 5 years or 50 years. Every day you wait is a day wasted. Every year you delay is a year you'll never get back. The best time to start was 10 years ago. The second best time is right now, today, this very moment. Stop using your age as an excuse and start using your experience as an advantage. You have wisdom. You have perspective. You have skills. You have networks. You have resources. Use them. Lie number 4. I don't have enough money. Money is a tool, not a requirement for getting started. Yes, I said it. You don't need a lot of money to begin pursuing your dreams. Some of the biggest, most valuable companies in the world started in garages with almost no money. Apple, Google, Amazon, Disney. They all started small with limited resources. Some of the most impactful movements in history began with people who had nothing but an idea and determination. They didn't wait for funding. They didn't wait for investors. They started with what they had. Yes, money helps. Of course it does. Money can accelerate growth. It can open doors. It can make things easier. But it's not the deciding factor. It's never been the deciding factor. Your resourcefulness matters infinitely more than your resources. Your creativity matters more than your capital. Your determination matters more than your bank account. If you wait until you have enough money, you'll wait forever. There will always be a reason why now isn't the right time. There will always be another bill to pay, another expense to cover, another reason to delay. Start with what you have right now. Use what's available to you. Be creative. Find free resources, barter services. Learn skills online. Build relationships. Take small steps. The money will come as you build momentum. Opportunities will appear as you take action. But you have to start first. You have to prove to the universe that you're serious before it opens the floodgates. Lie number 5. What if I fail? Here's a much better question that will change your entire perspective. What if you succeed beyond your wildest imagination? Failure is inevitable on the path to success. Let me say that again. Failure is inevitable. Everyone who has ever accomplished anything significant has failed multiple times. The only way to completely avoid failure is to never try anything, and that's the biggest failure of all. That's the failure of never knowing what you could have been. Failure isn't the opposite of success. It's part of success. It's required for success. It's how you learn what works and what doesn't. It's how you grow. It's how you develop resilience. It's how you become someone capable of handling success when it arrives. Every failure brings you closer to success if, and this is crucial, if you learn from it. Every mistake is valuable data. Every setback is feedback. Every rejection is redirection towards something better. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times before he successfully invented the light bulb. 10,000 times. When asked about his failures, he said he hadn't failed. He had just found 10,000 ways that didn't work. Michael Jordan was cut from his high school basketball team. He's now considered the greatest basketball player of all time. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper for lacking imagination. He went on to build an entertainment empire. The Beatles were rejected by multiple record labels who said they had no future in show business. Oprah was fired from her first television job and told she was unfit for TV. Should I continue? Because the list is endless. The people who achieve big things aren't fearless. They're terrified. They feel the fear, the doubt, the worry, just like you do. The difference is they do it anyway. They feel the fear and they move forward. They fail and they keep going. They get knocked down and they get back up every single time. So stop asking, what if I fail? And start asking, what happens if I succeed beyond anything I've ever imagined? What if this works? What if I'm capable of more than I think? What if my dreams are actually possible? These 5 lies have been holding you back for too long. They've been whispering in your ear, keeping you small, preventing you from taking action. It's time to let them go. It's time to see them for what they are: excuses dressed up as wisdom. The truth is radically different from these lies. The truth is, you are capable of far more than you currently realize. The truth is, your dreams are not only possible, they're waiting for you to claim them. The truth is, you have everything you need to start right now. Now, let's prove it. Chapter 3. Defining your dream with crystal. Clarity. All right, it's time to get brutally specific. You cannot achieve a vague dream. You cannot hit a target you haven't clearly defined. You cannot arrive at a destination you haven't identified. Too many people wander through life saying they want success, but they have absolutely no idea what success actually looks like for them personally. They want to be happy, but they haven't defined what happiness means in concrete terms. They want more, but they don't know what more is. They want better, but better compared to what? That ambiguity ends right now, in this moment. I want you to think deeply about your ideal life, not what your parents want for you, not what society says you should want, not what looks impressive on social media, not what your friends are doing, your ideal life. The life that makes you excited to wake up every single morning. The life that feels authentic and true to who you really are. What does that life look like in vivid, specific detail? Where do you live? What city, what country, what does your home look like? Is it a cozy apartment in a bustling city? A spacious house with a garden? A cabin in the mountains? A beachfront property? Be specific. Who are you surrounded by? What kinds of people are in your life? What do your relationships look like? Are you married? Do you have children? What kind of friends do you have? What do you talk about? How do you spend time together? What do you do for work? What does your typical day look like? Do you work from home or go to an office? Do you work alone or with a team? What problems are you solving? What value are you creating? How does your work make you feel? How do you spend your free time? What hobbies do you pursue? What activities energize you? What do you do for fun? How do you recharge? What impact are you making? How are you contributing to the world? Whose lives are you touching? What legacy are you building? How do you feel when you go to bed at night? Fulfilled? Proud? Peaceful? Excited about tomorrow? Get incredibly detailed with this vision. Paint the picture so clearly in your mind that you can see it, feel it, almost taste it. Make it so real that it feels like a memory of the future rather than just a fantasy. Because here's something powerful about how your brain works. Your brain is an absolutely incredible goal-seeking mechanism. It's designed to help you achieve whatever you focus on consistently. But it needs clear, specific instructions. It needs a precise target. When you have a crystal clear vision of what you want, your brain starts working on it automatically, even when you're not consciously thinking about it. It starts noticing opportunities you would have missed before. It starts making connections between seemingly unrelated things. It starts guiding your decisions and actions toward that vision without you even realizing it. But if your vision is fuzzy and vague, your results will be fuzzy and vague. If you don't know exactly what you're aiming for, you'll end up scattered and frustrated. Let me give you a perfect example of this principle in action. There was a woman I'll call Sarah. She desperately wanted to be successful. That was her goal. When asked what she wanted, she would say, "I want to be successful. I want to make a difference." Okay, great. Noble intention. But what does that actually mean in practice? For 6 months, Sarah worked incredibly hard. She was busy all the time. She was stressed and exhausted. She was moving constantly. But she wasn't actually progressing toward anything specific. She was busy, but not productive. She was moving, but not getting closer to any particular destination. She felt like she was running on a treadmill, expending enormous energy but staying in the same place. Why? Because she didn't know where she was going. She was working hard without direction. She was taking action without strategy. Then something shifted. Sarah sat down and got brutally specific about what success meant to her personally. She stopped using vague language and started using concrete terms. She defined it like this: I want to run a six-figure coaching business, helping women build genuine confidence and overcome self-doubt. I want to work with 20 individual coaching clients at a time, having deep, meaningful conversations that transform lives. I want to host monthly workshops in my city where women can connect and grow together. I want to write a book that reaches at least 10,000 people and helps them see their own worth. I want to wake up every morning excited about my work and go to bed every night knowing I made a real difference in someone's life. Now she had a target. Now her brain had specific instructions to work with. Now she could evaluate every opportunity, every decision, every action through a clear filter. Does this move me toward my specific vision or not? Within 18 months, Sarah hit every single one of those goals. She built the business. She worked with clients who got real results. She hosted the workshops. She wrote the book. She created the life she had defined. The only thing that changed was clarity. She went from vague wanting to specific planning. So let's get you that same level of clarity right now. This is not optional. This is absolutely critical to everything that follows. I want you to pause this audiobook for a few minutes. Take out a piece of paper or open a note on your phone. I want you to write down your dream in as much detail as possible. Don't hold back. Don't be realistic. Don't worry about how it's going to happen or whether it's possible. Just write what you truly want. Write about your career. What do you want to be doing professionally? What kind of work lights you up? Write about your relationships. What do you want your marriage or romantic life to look like? What kind of friendships do you want? What role do you want to play in your family? Write about your health. How do you want to feel physically? What do you want to be capable of doing? How do you want to look? Write about your finances. How much money do you want to earn? What do you want to be able to afford? What level of financial security do you want? Write about your lifestyle. How do you want to spend your days? What do you want your routine to look like? What do you want to experience? Write about your impact and legacy. What do you want to be known for? How do you want to contribute? What difference do you want to make? Make it so specific that someone else could read your description and understand exactly what your ideal life looks like. They should be able to see it clearly just from your words. This isn't a wish list that you'll look at once and forget about. This is your blueprint. This is the detailed architectural plan for the life you're committing to build, brick by brick, day by day. And here's the absolutely crucial part that trips people up. You need to believe it's possible for you. Not because you have all the answers right now. Not because you can see the entire path from where you are to where you want to be. Not because you know exactly how every piece is going to fall into place. You need to believe it's possible because you're committed to figuring it out. Because you're willing to learn. Because you're willing to adapt. Because you're willing to keep going even when you don't know the next 10 steps. Belief comes first. Action comes second. Results come third. Most people try to do it backward. They want to see results first, then they'll believe, then they'll take more action. But that's not how it works. That's not how anything significant has ever been accomplished. You have to believe first, even when you can't see how. Then you take action based on that belief. Then the results start appearing, which strengthens your belief, which leads to more action, which creates better results. It's an upward spiral. This requires faith. Not religious faith necessarily, though it can include that. I'm talking about faith in yourself, faith in the process. Faith that if you keep showing up and moving forward intelligently, things will work out even if you can't see exactly how right now. I know that's difficult when you can't see the whole staircase. When you're standing at the bottom and the top is shrouded in fog. When you can't see how all the pieces are going to come together. But that's what separates dreamers from achievers. Dreamers wait for certainty. They wait until they can see the whole path. They wait until success is guaranteed. They wait until the risk is eliminated. And they wait forever because that certainty never comes. Achievers move forward with faith. They take the first step before they can see the second step. They start before they're ready. They figure it out as they go. Your dream is waiting for you. It's been waiting for you your whole life. It's time to define it clearly and claim it boldly. Bone-deep, unshakable belief. Not the surface-level kind where you say you believe something, but your actions tell a completely different story. I'm talking about absolute conviction that lives in your bones. This is the foundation of everything we're building. Because if you don't truly believe your dream is possible, you will sabotage yourself at every single turn. You'll quit when things get difficult. You'll give up at the first major failure. You'll let other people's doubts become your doubts. You'll talk yourself out of opportunities before you even try. Belief is what keeps you going when the results aren't showing up yet, when you've been working for months and nothing seems to be happening. Belief is what makes you try again after you've failed, after you've been rejected, after you've been told no 100 times. Belief is what gives you the courage to take risks that terrify you. So how do you build this kind of unshakable belief? How do you develop faith in yourself and your dreams when you're starting from a place of doubt? First, you need to understand something fundamental. Belief isn't something you're born with. It's not a personality trait that some people have and others don't. It's something you build deliberately. It's a muscle you strengthen through consistent practice. Every single time you do what you said you would do, you build belief in yourself. Every time you keep a commitment to yourself, even a small one, you prove to yourself that you're reliable and trustworthy. This is where most people mess up. They try to make huge commitments they can't keep, then they fail, then they lose faith in themselves. They say, I'm going to work out 2 hours every single day, when they haven't exercised in years. Then they miss a day, feel like a failure, and quit entirely. Start small. Make a commitment to yourself that you know you can keep, and then keep it, no matter what. No excuses, no exceptions. Maybe it's waking up at a specific time every single day for a week. Maybe it's exercising for just 15 minutes 3 times a week. Maybe it's reading for 20 minutes before bed. Maybe it's writing 1 page every day. Maybe it's calling 1 potential client every day. Whatever it is, make it small enough that you can absolutely, definitely do it. Then do it. Then do it again. Then do it again. As you keep these small promises to yourself day after day, week after week, something powerful starts happening. You start to trust yourself more. You start to believe that when you say you're going to do something, you'll actually follow through. You start to see yourself as someone who keeps their word. This self-trust is absolutely critical, because achieving big dreams requires you to trust yourself to keep going, even when nobody else believes in you, even when the odds seem impossible, even when you're terrified, even when you want to quit. If you can't trust yourself to show up for the small things, how will you trust yourself for the big things? Second, Surround yourself with evidence that your dream is possible. Find people who have already achieved what you want to achieve. Not people who are similar to you necessarily, but people who have accomplished what you're aiming for. Study them carefully. Learn from them. Let their success prove to you that it can be done. If someone else has done it, that means it's possible. And if it's possible for one person, it's possible for you. Now, I can already hear the objections forming in your mind. But they had advantages I don't have. They had money, connections, education, luck, talent. Maybe they did. Maybe your circumstances are different. Maybe your starting point is different. So what? That doesn't mean you can't do it. That doesn't mean it's impossible for you. That just means your path might look different. That's all. Stop comparing your beginning to someone else's middle. Stop comparing your behind-the-scenes struggle to someone else's highlight reel. Stop using other people's advantages as an excuse for your own inaction. Focus entirely on what you can control. Focus on what you can do with what you have right now, today, in this moment. Third, protect your belief fiercely like it's the most valuable thing you own, because it is. There will be people who try to talk you out of your dreams. They'll say they're being realistic. They'll say they're trying to protect you from disappointment. They'll say they don't want you to get hurt or embarrassed. But here's what they're really doing, consciously or unconsciously. They're projecting their own fears onto you. They're uncomfortable with your ambition because it highlights their own lack of action. They want you to stay small because it makes them feel better about staying small themselves. Your growth threatens their comfort. Don't let them dim your light. Don't let their limitations become your limitations. Don't let their fear infect your faith. You don't need everyone to believe in you. You don't even need most people to believe in you. You just need you to believe in you. That's it. That's enough. Limit your exposure to negative, doubtful people. Limit your consumption of negative news that makes you feel helpless. Limit anything that feeds doubt, fear, and cynicism. Instead, intentionally fill your mind with possibility. Read inspiring stories of people who overcame incredible odds. Listen to motivating content that lifts you up. Watch documentaries about people who achieved the impossible. Spend time with people who are building, creating, achieving, growing. Your environment shapes your belief more than almost anything else. Choose an environment that strengthens your faith, not one that weakens it. Fourth, visualize your success every single day. Take 10 minutes every morning when you wake up and every night before you sleep. Close your eyes and see yourself living your dream in vivid detail. Don't just think about it vaguely. Actually see it. Experience it with all your senses. See where you are. See what you're doing. See who you're with. Hear the sounds around you. Feel the emotions in your body. Feel the pride, the joy, the fulfillment, the peace. Make it as real and vivid as possible. This isn't just wishful thinking or positive thinking or some woo-woo nonsense. This is scientifically proven to work. This is programming your subconscious mind. This is training your brain to recognize opportunities and take actions that align with your vision. Athletes use visualization all the time. Olympic athletes, professional athletes, they all do this. They visualize themselves winning the race, making the perfect shot, crossing the finish line first. They see it thousands of times in their mind before it happens in reality. And it works. It measurably improves performance. It builds confidence. It creates belief at a deep, subconscious level. You can do the exact same thing with your dreams. See yourself giving that presentation. See yourself closing that deal. See yourself publishing that book. See yourself living in that home. See yourself doing the work you love. Fifth, celebrate every single small win along the way. Progress builds belief. When you see yourself moving forward, even in tiny increments, it reinforces the idea that your dream is achievable. It creates momentum. It generates excitement. So acknowledge your progress, no matter how small it seems. Celebrate the victories, even the ones that feel minor. Give yourself credit for every step forward, every milestone reached, every obstacle overcome. Did you make one sale when you're trying to build a business? Celebrate it. That's proof people want what you're offering. Did you finish one chapter of your book? Celebrate it. You're a writer now, officially. Did you have one difficult conversation you've been avoiding for months? Celebrate it. You're building courage. These small wins might not seem like much individually, but they compound. They add up. They create a track record of success that your brain recognizes. They strengthen your belief that you can actually do this. Because you can. You absolutely can do this. Your dream isn't some fantasy that's permanently out of reach. It's not a delusion. It's not impossible. It's a real possibility that's waiting for you to claim it with consistent, focused action. Believe it. Build that belief every single day through small actions. Protect it from negativity and doubt. Nurture it with positive inputs and inspiring examples. Let it grow so strong that nothing and nobody can shake it. That's when everything changes. That's when the impossible becomes inevitable. Chapter 5. Setting Goals. That actually move you forward. Dreams are beautiful and inspiring. Goals are practical and actionable. You desperately need both. Your dream is your ultimate destination. Your goals are the specific milestones on the roadmap that gets you there. The checkpoints that tell you you're heading in the right direction. But here's where most people completely mess this up. They set goals that sound impressive but don't actually move them forward. They set goals that are too vague to be useful, too easy to be challenging, or completely disconnected from their bigger vision. We're not doing that. We're going to set goals that are specific, measurable, challenging, and directly tied to your dream. Goals that excite you and scare you at the same time. Let's start with the big picture and work our way down to the daily details. Look at that dream you defined earlier, that crystal clear vision of your ideal life. Now, I want you to ask yourself, what would have to happen in the next 5 years for that dream to become reality? Think big. Don't limit yourself yet. What major milestones would need to occur? Maybe you need to build a business to a certain revenue level. Maybe you need to develop specific skills. Maybe you need to create something. Maybe you need to build relationships with certain types of people. Maybe you need to save a certain amount of money. Maybe you need to move to a different city. Write down everything that would need to happen. Don't worry about the order yet. Just brainstorm all the major milestones. Now, let's get more specific. What needs to happen in the next 12 months? What's the next big step that moves you significantly closer to your 5-year vision? This is your 1-year goal. This is what you're committing to accomplish over the next 12 months. Make it specific. Make it measurable. Make it challenging but achievable if you really push yourself. Not, I want to be healthier. That's vague and unmeasurable. Instead, I will lose 30 pounds and run a 10-kilometer race. Not, I want to start a business. Too vague. Instead, I will launch my coaching business, sign 5 paying clients, and generate $10,000 in revenue. Not, I want to be a better writer. How will you measure that? Instead, I will write and publish 50 blog posts and complete the first draft of my book manuscript. See the difference? Specific. Measurable. Clear. Now, Here's where it gets really powerful. Break that one-year goal down into quarterly goals. What needs to happen in the next 90 days to keep you on track for your one-year goal? If your one-year goal is to launch a business and sign 5 clients, your first quarter goal might be complete my coaching certification, build my website, and have conversations with 20 potential clients to understand their needs. Then break your quarterly goal into monthly goals. What specific things need to happen this month? Then break your monthly goals into weekly goals. What must you accomplish this week? Then, and this is the most important part, break your weekly goals into daily actions. What are you doing today, right now, that moves you forward? This is how you bridge the gap between massive dreams and daily reality. This is how you turn overwhelming visions into manageable actions. Most people never do this. They have big dreams, but no actionable plan. Or they have a general plan, but no daily execution. They drift along, hoping things will work out, waiting for motivation to strike. That's not how achievement works. Achievement is built on systems and consistent daily actions that compound over time. Let me give you an example. A man I'll call David wanted to write a book. That was his dream. He had wanted to write a book for 15 years, but he never did it because it felt overwhelming. Where do you even start? How do you write 70,000 words? It seemed impossible. Then David learned about goal breakdown. He did the math. If he wrote just 500 words per day, which takes about 30 minutes, he would have a complete first draft in less than 5 months. 500 words, 30 minutes. That felt manageable, so that's what he did. Every single morning before work, he wrote 500 words. Some days it flowed easily. Some days it was torture. Some days he wrote brilliant material. Some days he wrote complete garbage that he later deleted. But he wrote 500 words every single day. 5 months later, he had a first draft. 6 months after that, after editing and revising, he published his book. A 15-year dream became reality in less than a year because he broke it down into daily action. That's the power of proper goal setting. Now, here's something critical. Your goals need to stretch you, but they can't break you. They need to be challenging enough to push you out of your comfort zone, but realistic enough that you actually believe you can achieve them. If your goals are too easy, you won't grow. You'll stay comfortable. You'll never discover what you're truly capable of. You'll leave potential on the table. But if your goals are completely unrealistic, you'll get discouraged and quit. You'll fail to hit them, lose confidence, and give up. The sweet spot is what I call the stretch zone. Goals that make you slightly uncomfortable. Goals that require you to level up. Goals that you're about 60 to 70% sure you can hit if you really push yourself. That level of difficulty forces growth without causing burnout. Also, and this is important, write your goals down. Don't just think about them. Actually write them down somewhere you'll see them every single day. There's something powerful about writing that makes goals real in a way that thinking about them doesn't. When you write something down, you're making a commitment. You're creating accountability, even if it's just to yourself. Put your goals somewhere visible. On your bathroom mirror, on your refrigerator, as the background on your phone. Somewhere you'll see them multiple times a day. Because here's what happens. Life gets busy. Distractions happen. Challenges arise. And it's easy to forget what you're working toward. It's easy to get pulled off course by urgent things that aren't actually important. When you see your goals every day, they stay front and center in your mind. They remind you why you're making sacrifices. They keep you focused on what actually matters. One more thing about goals. Review them regularly and adjust as needed. Goals aren't carved in stone. They're a living document. Maybe you hit a goal faster than you expected. Great. Set a new, bigger goal. Maybe you realize a goal isn't actually what you want anymore. Okay. Change it. Maybe external circumstances shift and you need to adapt your timeline. That's all fine. The point isn't rigid adherence to a plan you made months ago. The point is intentional progress toward your dream. Review your goals weekly. Ask yourself, am I on track? Do I need to adjust anything? Are my daily actions aligned with my goals? This regular review keeps you honest. It prevents you from drifting off course for weeks or months before you realize it. Your goals are your roadmap. Your dream is your destination. Your daily actions are the vehicle that gets you there. Let's make sure you're driving in the right direction.
Chapter 6: The Morning Routine. That changes everything. How you start your day determines how you live your life. Read that sentence again because it's one of the most important things you'll hear. Most people start their day reactively. Their alarm goes off, they hit snooze 3 times, they finally drag themselves out of bed feeling stressed and rushed. They grab their phone and immediately start consuming everyone else's content, everyone else's problems, everyone else's priorities. They scroll through social media, read the news, check emails, fill their mind with other people's agendas before they've even thought about their own. Then they rush through getting ready, skip breakfast or eat something unhealthy, fight traffic, arrive at work already exhausted, and spend the day in reactive mode, responding to whatever comes at them. Sound familiar? That's not how you build your dream life. That's how you build someone else's dream life while neglecting your own. High achievers, people who actually accomplish their big goals, they start their day differently. They start intentionally. They start proactively. They win the morning so they can win the day. Let me share a morning routine that will transform everything if you commit to it. This routine is designed to put you in peak mental, emotional, and physical state before you engage with the rest of the world. Here's how it works. Wake up at the same time every single day. Yes, including weekends. Your body thrives on consistency. When you wake up at different times constantly, you're fighting against your natural circadian rhythm. Pick a wake-up time that gives you enough sleep and stick to it. And please, for the love of everything good, don't hit snooze. Snoozing is training yourself that you don't keep commitments to yourself. It's starting your day by immediately breaking a promise. It's teaching your subconscious that what you say doesn't matter. When your alarm goes off, count down from 5, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 and get up. Don't negotiate with yourself. Don't think about it. Just move. First thing, and this is critical, do not touch your phone. Do not check social media. Do not check emails. Do not check texts. Not yet. The first hour of your day belongs to you and your goals. Not to other people's agendas, not to the news, not to whatever crisis happened overnight. To you. Drink a full glass of water. Your body is dehydrated after sleeping for hours. Hydrate it. This simple act starts waking up your system and improving your energy. Then move your body for at least 20 minutes. This doesn't mean you need to do an intense workout, though you can if you want. But at minimum, move. Go for a walk. Do some stretching. Do some yoga. Do jumping jacks. Just get your blood flowing and your body activated. Physical movement in the morning does incredible things for your mental state. It releases endorphins. It increases energy. It clears mental fog. It sets a tone of taking care of yourself. After movement, spend 10 to 15 minutes in meditation or deep breathing or prayer or quiet reflection. Whatever spiritual or mindfulness practice resonates with you, sit quietly. Focus on your breathing. Let thoughts come and go without attaching to them. This practice cultivates calm, clarity, and presence. It reduces anxiety. It improves focus. It helps you start the day centered rather than scattered. If meditation feels weird or uncomfortable at first, that's normal. Stick with it. Start with just 5 minutes if that's all you can handle. Build up gradually. After your quiet time, spend 10 to 15 minutes reviewing your goals and visualizing your ideal day. Look at your written goals. Read them out loud if that helps. Really connect with why they matter to you. Feel the emotion behind them. Then close your eyes and visualize your day going perfectly. See yourself crushing your most important tasks. See yourself handling challenges with grace. See yourself ending the day feeling accomplished and proud. This mental rehearsal programs your brain for success. It prepares you psychologically for the day ahead. Then, and this is where most people skip, but it's so important, spend at least 30 minutes working on your biggest goal before you do anything else. Before you check email, before you scroll social media, before you do busy work or respond to other people, work on your dream. If you're writing a book, write. If you're building a business, work on your business. If you're learning a skill, practice that skill. If you're creating something, create. Give your best energy, your freshest mind, your most creative thinking to what matters most. Don't wait until the end of the day when you're exhausted and depleted. Why does this work so powerfully? Because you're accomplishing something meaningful before most people are even out of bed. You're making progress on your dream before the demands of the day start pulling at you. You're proving to yourself that your goals matter enough to prioritize them. And psychologically, when you knock out something important early, you carry that momentum through the entire day. You feel productive. You feel accomplished. You feel like you're in control rather than being controlled. Compare that to scrolling social media for an hour first thing in the morning. How do you feel after that? Probably worse, probably anxious or inadequate or distracted. Probably like you wasted time. Your morning routine sets your energy and mindset for the entire day. Protect it fiercely. Now, I know what some of you are thinking. I don't have time for all this. I barely have time to get ready as it is. Then wake up earlier. I'm serious. If your dreams matter, if your goals are truly important to you, wake up earlier. But I'm not a morning person. You know what? Nobody is a morning person until they become one. It's a habit you build, not a personality trait you're born with. Start small if you need to. Wake up 15 minutes earlier this week. Next week, 30 minutes. Build up to an hour or 90 minutes of morning routine time. Yes, it requires sacrifice. Yes, it means going to bed earlier. Yes, it means making your mornings a priority. But the payoff is absolutely worth it. People who maintain a strong morning routine report higher productivity, better mood, less stress, better health, and faster progress toward their goals. This isn't theory. This is proven by countless high achievers across every field. Your morning routine is your foundation. Build it strong. Chapter 7. The Art of Massive. Action belief is essential. Goals are crucial. Morning routines are powerful, but none of it matters without massive, consistent action. Action is everything. Action is what separates dreamers from achievers. Action is what turns potential into results. Action is what makes the invisible visible. Most people dramatically underestimate how much action is required to achieve big goals. They think they can work on their dream occasionally when they feel motivated, when they have extra time, and somehow it will all work out. It won't. That's not how this works. Achieving big dreams requires massive action. consistent action. Uncomfortable action. Action when you don't feel like it. Action when you're tired. Action when you're scared. Action when results aren't showing up yet. Let me be clear about what massive action means. It doesn't mean working yourself to burnout. It doesn't mean sacrificing your health or relationships. It doesn't mean being busy for the sake of being busy. Massive action means taking focused, intentional action toward your goals every single day without exception. It means treating your dream like it's the most important thing in your life, because it should be. Think about how much time you currently spend on activities that don't matter. Really think about it. How much time do you spend watching television shows you don't even really enjoy? How much time do you spend scrolling social media without purpose? How much time do you spend in conversations that drain you? How much time do you waste being distracted, procrastinating, doing busy work? Now imagine redirecting all that time, or even half that time, toward your goals. What would change? Everything would change. Here's a principle that will transform your results. Take 10 times more action than you think is necessary. Whatever you're currently doing toward your goals, multiply it by 10. If you're making 1 sales call a week, make 10. If you're writing 1 page a day, write 10 pages. If you're reaching out to 1 potential client, reach out to 10. Why 10 times? Because most people do the bare minimum and wonder why they're not getting results. They try something once or twice, don't see immediate results, and quit. They give up right before the breakthrough. Massive action creates massive results. It also creates momentum, confidence, and opportunities you never could have predicted. Let me tell you about a woman I'll call Maria. Maria wanted to build a coaching business. She had the skills. She had the passion. She had the knowledge. But she wasn't getting clients. She would post on social media once a week. She would reach out to 1 potential client every few weeks. She would network occasionally when it was convenient. And she was frustrated that her business wasn't growing. Then she committed to massive action. She started posting valuable content every single day. She reached out to 10 potential clients every day. She showed up at networking events twice a week without fail. She created free workshops. She collaborated with other coaches. She put herself out there constantly. Was it comfortable? Absolutely not. Was she scared of rejection? Every single day. Did she feel awkward sometimes? Constantly. But within 3 months, her business completely transformed. She went from 0 clients to having more clients than she could handle. She went from making no money to making 6 figures. She went from feeling stuck to feeling unstoppable. What changed? She took massive action. She outworked her doubts. She outworked her competition. She outworked her fears. Now, I want to address something important. Massive action doesn't mean stupid action. It doesn't mean working hard on the wrong things. It means focused, strategic action on the activities that actually move the needle. You need to know the difference between productive action and busy work. Productive action moves you directly toward your goals. Writing your book is productive. Practicing your skill is productive. Reaching out to potential clients is productive. Creating your product is productive. These activities create real results. Busy work makes you feel productive without actually moving you forward. Reorganizing your desk is busy work. Researching for the 10th time instead of taking action is busy work. Designing the perfect business card when you don't have any clients is busy work. Perfecting your website when nobody's visiting it is busy work. Be brutally honest with yourself. Are you taking productive action, or are you hiding in busy work because you're scared to do the real work? The real work is usually uncomfortable. It involves risk. It involves putting yourself out there. It involves possible rejection or failure. So our brains try to trick us into doing safe, comfortable, busy work instead. Don't fall for it. Identify the activities that will actually create results and do those things even when they're scary. Another critical aspect of massive action is speed. Move fast. Don't spend weeks or months planning and preparing and getting ready. Take imperfect action quickly rather than perfect action slowly. Done is better than perfect. Launched is better than polished. In the market is better than in development. I see so many people spend years getting ready to start. They're getting ready to launch their business. They're getting ready to publish their book. They're getting ready to start dating again. They're getting ready to apply for that job. Stop getting ready and start doing. Yes, you need some preparation. Yes, you need some planning, but you don't need everything to be perfect before you begin. You'll learn more from 1 month of messy action than from 1 year of perfect planning. Launch your website even if it's not perfect. You can improve it later. Publish your first video even if the lighting isn't ideal. You'll get better with practice. Ask for that date even if you're nervous. Rejection won't kill you. Apply for that position even if you don't meet every requirement. Let them decide if you're qualified. Speed creates opportunity. Speed creates momentum. Speed creates learning. Speed separates people who talk about doing things from people who actually do things. But, and this is crucial, massive action needs to be sustained over time. It's not about sprinting for a week and then quitting. It's about showing up consistently day after day, week after week, month after month, until you break through. This is where most people fail. They start strong. They take massive action for a week or a month. They're excited and motivated. Then life happens. They get tired. They get discouraged. The initial excitement fades. And they slow down or stop altogether. Don't be like most people. Understand that achieving big dreams is a marathon, not a sprint. You need sustainable, massive action. You need to build systems and habits that allow you to maintain high levels of productive activity without burning out. That means taking care of yourself. That means getting enough sleep, eating well, exercising, maintaining relationships. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't sustain massive action if you're depleted. Work intensely, but also rest intentionally. Build in recovery time. Take days off. Recharge yourself. Then get back to massive action. This sustainable approach is what creates long-term success. Anyone can work like crazy for a month. The successful people are the ones who can maintain high performance for years. One more thing about action. Take action even when you don't feel motivated, especially when you don't feel motivated. Motivation is unreliable. It comes and goes. It's influenced by your mood, your energy, your circumstances. You cannot build a dream life on motivation alone because motivation will fail you. Discipline is what you need. Commitment is what you need. The ability to do what needs to be done, regardless of how you feel, is what you need. On the days when you feel motivated, great. That's a bonus. Use that energy. On the days when you don't feel motivated, which will be most days if we're honest, do it anyway. Show up anyway. Take action anyway. Your future self will thank you for the actions you take today, especially the actions you take when you really didn't want to. Massive action is your superpower. It's your competitive advantage. It's how you turn dreams into reality. Start today. Not tomorrow, not next week, not when you feel ready. Today. Right now. Take one massive action step toward your dream immediately after you finish this chapter. Make the call, send the email, write the first page, create the outline, schedule the meeting, post the content, apply for the opportunity. One action. Right now, then another tomorrow, then another the day after. That's how dreams come true. Chapter IIId, Embracing Failure, as your greatest teacher. Let's talk about something that everyone experiences, but nobody wants to discuss honestly: failure. Failure is inevitable on the path to success, not possible. Not likely, inevitable, though guaranteed, absolutely certain. If you're not failing regularly, you're not dreaming big enough. You're not taking enough risks. You're not pushing yourself hard enough. You're playing it safe, and playing it safe never creates extraordinary results. The question isn't whether you'll fail, you will. The question is how you'll respond when failure happens. Will you let it destroy you, or will you let it develop you? Here's what I need you to understand at a deep level. Failure isn't the opposite of success. Failure is part of success. It's required for success. It's how you learn what works and what doesn't. It's how you develop resilience. It's how you discover what you're truly capable of. Every successful person has a trail of failures behind them. Every single one. The difference between successful people and unsuccessful people isn't that successful people don't fail. It's that they fail forward. They learn from failure. They use failure as feedback. They get back up every single time. Thomas Edison failed 10,000 times before successfully inventing a practical light bulb. 10,000 times. Most people can't even imagine trying something 10,000 times. They quit after 10 tries. After 3 tries. Sometimes after 1 try. When asked about his failures, Edison said he hadn't failed 10,000 times. He had successfully found 10,000 ways that didn't work. He had gathered 10,000 pieces of valuable data. That's the mindset shift you need. Failure isn't about you being inadequate. It's about finding out what doesn't work, so you can figure out what does work. Colonel Sanders was rejected over 1,000 times when he was trying to franchise his chicken recipe. 1,000 times. People literally said, "No thanks, this recipe isn't good enough," over 1,000 times. Most people would have given up after 10 rejections. After 50 rejections, they would be absolutely certain the recipe was terrible. But Sanders knew his recipe was good. He knew his vision was solid, so he kept going. Rejection number 1009 was the yes that changed everything and built an empire. Michael Jordan, considered by many to be the greatest basketball player of all time, was cut from his high school basketball team. Told he wasn't good enough. Told to go home. That rejection could have ended his basketball career before it started. Instead, it fueled him. It motivated him. He used it. Walt Disney was fired from a newspaper job because his editor said he lacked imagination and had no good ideas. Walt Disney. The man who created an entire universe of beloved characters and built the most recognized entertainment brand in the world. Fired for lacking imagination. The Beatles were rejected by multiple record labels. Executives told them guitar bands were on the way out and they had no future in show business. The Beatles. The band that changed music forever. Rejected as unmarketable. Oprah Winfrey was fired from her first television job as an evening news anchor. She was told she was unfit for television news. Now she's one of the most successful media personalities in history. J.K. Rowling's first Harry Potter book was rejected by 12 different publishers. 12 publishers said no to what became one of the best-selling book series of all time. Steven Spielberg was rejected from film school twice. The man who directed some of the most successful films in cinema history was told he wasn't good enough for film school. Should I keep going? Because I can give you thousands more examples. The point is this: failure means nothing about your ultimate potential. Nothing. Failure is simply feedback. It's information. It's data you can use to adjust your approach. If something didn't work, why didn't it work? What can you learn from that? What will you do differently next time? How can you use this experience to make you better, stronger, wiser? These are the questions successful people ask after failure. They don't ask, "Why does this always happen to me?" They don't say, "I'm not good enough." They don't make it mean something about their worth or value as a person. They treat failure like a scientist treats an experiment that didn't produce the expected results. Interesting. Let's analyze what happened. Let's adjust variables. Let's try again with modifications. That's the mindset you need to develop. Emotional detachment from outcomes. Curiosity about results. Commitment to the process regardless of individual failures. Now, I want to be clear. I'm not saying failure doesn't hurt. It does. It's disappointing. It's frustrating. It can be embarrassing. Those feelings are valid and normal. Feel the disappointment. Acknowledge the hurt. Give yourself permission to be upset for a defined period of time. Maybe that's 1 hour. Maybe it's 1 day. Maybe it's 1 week for a really significant failure. But then, and this is critical, you need to extract the lesson and move forward. Don't set up camp in your disappointment. Don't build a house in your failure. Don't let 1 setback or 10 setbacks or 100 setbacks convince you to give up on your dream. Here's a powerful practice. After every failure or setback, ask yourself 3 questions. 1. What went well? There's always something, even in failure. Acknowledge it. 2. What didn't go well? Be specific. Identify exactly what went wrong. 3. What will I do differently next time? Turn the lesson into action. This simple practice transforms failure from a dead end into a stepping stone. Let me share something personal. Every successful person I know, including myself, has experienced crushing failures, moments where everything fell apart. Moments of deep doubt and pain. I've launched projects that completely flopped. I've invested time and money into ideas that went nowhere. I've faced rejection and criticism and setbacks that felt devastating in the moment. But looking back, those failures were necessary. They taught me things that success never could have taught me. They developed qualities in me that only struggle can develop. They redirected me toward better opportunities I wouldn't have seen otherwise. Your failures are doing the same thing for you, even if you can't see it yet. Also, here's something important. Fear of failure holds more people back than actual failure ever does. Think about that. The fear of failing, the fear of looking foolish, the fear of disappointment. These fears stop people from even trying. They never fail because they never start. They protect themselves from the pain of failure by ensuring they'll never succeed. That's a tragedy. That's the real failure. I'd rather try 100 things and have 90 of them fail than try nothing and guarantee I'll never succeed. At least when I try and fail, I'm learning, I'm growing. I'm building resilience, I'm gathering data. I'm becoming someone capable of success. When you refuse to try because you're afraid to fail, you're not protecting yourself. You're limiting yourself. You're choosing guaranteed mediocrity over possible greatness. Don't make that choice. Embrace failure. Expect it. Welcome it as a necessary part of your journey. The faster you fail, the faster you learn. The faster you learn, the faster you succeed. Every no gets you closer to yes. Every rejection gets you closer to acceptance. Every setback gets you closer to breakthrough, so go fail. Go fail spectacularly. Go try things that might not work. Go take risks. Go be brave enough to fall on your face. Because that's what successful people do. That's what dreamers who become achievers do. They fail their way to success. Chapter 9. Building Your Success Team. Here's a truth that might make you uncomfortable. You cannot achieve your biggest dreams alone. You need other people. You need support, guidance, accountability, and collaboration. The lone wolf mythology is appealing. The idea that you can do it all by yourself, that you don't need anyone, that asking for help is weakness. It sounds strong and independent. It's also completely wrong. Every successful person has a team. Every achiever has mentors. Every person who's accomplished something significant has had help along the way. Steve Jobs had Steve Wozniak. Bill Gates had Paul Allen. The Wright brothers had each other. Oprah had mentors who shaped her career. Every successful entrepreneur has advisors, coaches, partners, supporters. You are not exempt from this principle. You need people. The question is, who do you need on your team? Let's break it down. First, you need mentors. People who have already achieved what you're trying to achieve. People who can show you the path because they've walked it themselves. A good mentor can save you years of trial and error. They can help you avoid mistakes they've already made. They can open doors you didn't even know existed. They can see your blind spots and push you beyond your self-imposed limitations. How do you find mentors? You ask. You reach out to people you admire and respect. You offer value in exchange for their time and guidance. You show up consistently and prove you're worth investing in. Most successful people are willing to help those who are genuinely committed and humble enough to learn. They remember when they needed help. They want to give back, but you have to make the ask. You have to put yourself out there. You have to risk rejection. Send the email, make the call. Show up at the event where they'll be. Be respectful of their time, but don't let fear stop you from asking. Second, you need peers who are on a similar journey. People who understand what you're going through because they're going through it too. These people provide encouragement, accountability, and camaraderie. They celebrate your wins. They support you through failures. They push you to keep going when you want to quit. Find or create a mastermind group, a small collection of people with similar ambitions who meet regularly to support each other, share resources, and hold each other accountable. This peer support is invaluable. When you're struggling, they remind you why you started. When you're winning, they cheer you on without jealousy. When you're stuck, they help you see solutions. Third, you need accountability, someone or something that keeps you honest about your commitments. This could be an accountability partner who checks in with you weekly. This could be a coach who monitors your progress. This could be a public commitment you make that creates social pressure to follow through. Accountability dramatically increases follow-through. When you know someone is going to ask you about your goals, you're much more likely to actually work on them. Fourth, you need champions. People who believe in you and your vision so strongly that they actively promote you and create opportunities for you. These might be friends, family members, colleagues, or even clients who love what you're doing. Nurture these relationships. Show appreciation. Give back to them. Champions open doors. They make introductions. They speak well of you when you're not in the room. They create opportunities you couldn't create for yourself. Fifth, you need to carefully manage who you allow into your inner circle. Not everyone deserves a front row seat to your life. Some people will drain you. Some people will doubt you. Some people will subtly or not so subtly try to keep you small. These people need to be limited in your life or removed entirely. This is hard. These might be people you've known for years. They might be family members. They might be longtime friends. But if someone consistently discourages your dreams, dismisses your goals, or makes you feel bad about your ambitions, you need to create distance. Your dreams are too important to let negative people sabotage them. Your energy is too valuable to waste on people who drain it. Protect your environment.